Hello, good morning.
Hello, TM Ayolanwaju.
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Is it TM Joy that is speaking? Hello. Hello, can you all hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
I can hear you, Tim Larry. Will someone else start then if...
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Your video is slanted.
It's slanted. It's my phone camera. Sorry, I wanted to take everyone in a different direction this New Year's. Okay. All right. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and welcome to the first meeting this year. Okay, I'm sure that guests on this call would be wondering, does she realize that the J in this month stands for July and not January? Yes, I am fully aware. But here's the thing.
This girl has really changed.
According to the Toastmaster calendar, sorry. Okay. According to the
TMI, you are muted.
Okay.
Hello, TMI Olanwaju.
Okay, so this...
You are muted. Please, let me introduce you
Hello.
properly to fellow Toastmasters and guests so that you can start all over again. Let me rewind.
All right.
So TM Ayolanwaju is the present Lighthouse president, and she joined Toastmasters in 2015, Lighthouse president, Toastmaster, and she's a dressmaker and who loves reading and mirror talking. Welcome to the virtual lesson as I present to you, Madam President. Over to you, TM Ayolanwaju.
Thank you so much, Mr. Larry, Mr. President, for the reintroduction. So, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The energy is quite low. Is it the weather, or it doesn't feel like a New Year energy? Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Okay.
Good morning. Good morning.
Warmly. Okay, is this? Welcome to the first Toastmaster meeting in the Toastmaster that I met. So, Happy New Year, everyone. Endeavor to say Happy New Year to somebody in the chats. As in, when somebody says Happy New Year, just say Happy New Year, Toastmaster Larry, Happy New Year, Toastmaster Joy. Let's just have a New Year celebration like that. Now, speaking of New Year's, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of New Year is a clean slate, a fresh start. And that brings us to the theme of the day. Fresh start simply means an opportunity to start something again. And in my opinion, there are two key reasons that calls for a fresh start. One, when you need to. If you feel stuck in your career, your job, your environment, relationship, anything at all, or you feel like you have hit a dead end at life, it's probably time to consider a fresh start. And then two, when you have to. Here, you personally don't even have a choice because it will take a natural order. For example, the way time goes around the clock and every 24 hours, a new day is born. Whether you're ready for it or not, you have to get up and do the things that you need to do. So, yeah. Please unmute your mic. You have to. Thank you, Toastmaster Tessie. You have to do what you have to do. So every time, this new day, sometimes it comes with, it is not a new thing or a new place. It's a new mindset. getting rid of old ideas that doesn't serve you, and adopting new ones that will foster your growth. Some other benefits of a fresh start is it gives you energy and motivation to pursue your goals. You're just super excited, like, yes, I can start again. And also it gives you a fresh perspective. And because of the fact that it's a fresh start, you probably already know some things that wouldn't work and some things that works. And you're starting with those first. And it means that it will save you so much time. No doubt, a fresh start would in most cases take us out of our comfort zones. But that is where the magic happens. So embrace it. Now, quickly, I'll tell you a time when you should never consider a fresh start. It doesn't exist. You can start fresh anytime you want. If there are goals that you had planned to have gone halfway through by June, and for whatever reason, you haven't scratched the surface and you're telling yourself, oh, this year is almost over. No. Inspiration in the fact that so many cultures, their new year, that is not even related to January the 1st. For instance, the Balinese New Year in March, the Jewish New Year that begins in September, October, it's called Rosh Hashanah. And the popular one that most of us probably know more is the Chinese New Year that takes place in February. So what does that tell us? That you can start fresh anytime you want. Choose to declare your own new year and say, okay, I don't care about that. I am going to start today and count from now. Your goals, your personal development, anything that it is, even if it's your Toastmaster journey and you feel like, oh, I should have finished like 10 speeches now, you can start fresh now so as to meet your goals. Because the benefit of starting fresh far outweighs the dead weight that you may be dragging along because you're afraid to start. Now, so I don't end up being the only singer and talker in this affair. This is not what it is. I would introduce someone who is going to serve as our meeting director, someone who will direct every other part of today's meeting. In Toastmaster, we call that person the Toastmaster of the Day, TMOD. And to play this role today is a Toastmaster that joined in 2020, September. This Toastmaster is a human resource manager, and he loves fishing, even though they don't get to do that so well. Please join me as I welcome to the virtual lectern, Toastmaster. Yes, she loves fishing, even though she doesn't get to do that so well. Join me in welcoming Toastmaster Tessie Edewo to the virtual lectern.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ayo, for the introduction. My name is Tessie, and I'm your Toastmaster for today. This is the first time I'll be the Toastmaster for the day. So I would like to ask everyone to assist us as we get it done. I will not be doing this alone. I'll be doing this with other Toastmasters, and I will start by introducing Toastmaster Timothy, who enjoys playing basketball. And he has been a Toastmaster member since 2020 and is a real estate consultant. And part of his hobbies includes basketballing and reading, which I also enjoy. So maybe sometime in the future, we can start a reading club. Please, let's put our hands together for Toastmaster Timothy. Timothy?
Thank you very much for the warm introduction, Madam Toastmasters. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's meeting. Welcome to a fresh start. My role as the general evaluator. Can you all hear me?
Loud and clear. Go on.
All right. My role as the general evaluator is to evaluate the meeting from the beginning to the end and to take notes of the speeches, the evaluation, and every other thing. And I won't be doing this alone. I have competent role players who will be joining me in, evaluating this meeting. And the first person I'll be calling is the grammarian, who is in the person of TM Oluwa Korede Ademola. Yeah, so TM Ademola joined Toastmasters in the year 2020, October, and he loved dancing. So join me as I welcome TM Oluwa Korede. Over to you.
Thank you very much, TM Timothy. As I've been introduced, but I'll just like to clarify, it's TM Korede Demola Adeni. I'm very excited to be here today to play the role of the grammarian. And what that means is that I'll be introducing the word of the day, and also I'll be noting language and grammatical usage of speakers. I will be noting mispronunciations and the usage of the word of the day by all speakers. I'll go over to introduce the word for the day. The word for today is unfaltering, which means to be steady or resolute, or better still, not faltering. For example, her unfaltering energy and determination. Okay, so that is it. It's unfaltering, it's an adjective, not faltering, steady, resolute. And the example there is, you will make it if you have unfaltering determination. Thank you very much, as I look forward to spending the day with you all. Over to you, TM Timothy. We can't hear you. I think you need to unmute.
Thank you very much, TM Korede.
Hello? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
We can hear you now.
Okay. So the next person I'll be calling is listening evaluator. Our listening evaluator goes by the name TM Queen Nkugre. She joined Toastmasters in 2016. She is the current VPE of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters. She is a dance and fitness instructor who loves reading and writing. So let's put our hands together as a queen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Toastmasters. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good morning, Toastmaster of the day, and of course, the GE. As the listening evaluator, my role is to ensure that everyone pays attention during the meeting. Listening is just as important as speaking in communication. And so I'll be listening to interesting tidbits of information. And at the end of the meeting, I will ask a few questions to make sure everyone was paying attention during this meeting. Back to you, General Evaluator.
And our next role player would be the timekeeper, who is in the person of TM Francis. And here, TM Francis starts on Toastmasters in October 2020. He enjoys watching movies, hanging out with friends, and sleeping. Wow, very interesting. Welcome, TM Francis.
All right, thank you, everyone. I'll be the timekeeper of the day. So my role as a timekeeper is to monitor and keep track of time. So for those that are doing prepared speeches, if you have a 4 to 6 minute speech, at the 4th minute, I'll be showing the green cards. Just give me a moment. Here's the green card. Then at the 5th minute, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at the 6th minute, I'll be showing red card. So for a 5 to 7 minute speech, the same way, once you have 2 minutes left, you get a green card. If you have a minute left, you have a yellow card, and then the red card just shows you that your time is up. Thank you. And at the end of the day, I'll give my report of the time spent so far during the speeches. Thanks.
Okay. So we move on to the next role player, who is the accountant. The accountant Shim is a commercial lawyer operating. Joined Toastmasters in 2018, and his hobbies are chilling with friends and exploring the world. Explorer. So please make welcome our accountant.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Unfortunately, I'm unable to share my video because I'm having a bit of challenges here, but it wouldn't limit my ability to perform this role. So as the accountant, my role is to note overused words such as, it's like, or filler sounds such as which are used as a crutch while speaking. For the course of this meeting, I'm looking forward to recording 0 pause fillers and overused words. Over to you, TM Timothy.
So that's the role players. By the time the meeting is coming to an end, we'll come back to give you reports on how today's meeting went, evaluation of the meeting. So over to you, Madam Toastmasters, to continue the meeting.
Thank you very much, Timothy. I would like to say that my camera might be off. I'm having a bit of connectivity issues. I will then go right ahead and hand it over to the table topic master, Timothy M. Christopher Anieli. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, who joined Toastmasters in 2020, and he'll be taking us through the table topic section. TM Christopher?
Yeah, hello, TM Tessie. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, please, for the same reason you stated, I've been off and on the meeting because of my network, and I discovered this. If I turn on the video, it won't. It would totally crash. So please bear with me. Welcome. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Christopher Anaile. Welcome to the table topic section of our tabletop Toastmasters meeting. The table topic section of our Toastmasters meeting is where you learn how to speak on your feet, where you learn how to build the confidence through practice to respond to impromptu questions. So I'll implore all of us to participate. We have space for 4 slots, 4 individuals, but depending on our time, we could take a 5th person. But please, whatever you do in this meeting, make sure you don't plead the 5th. Okay, so can I have my first volunteer, please? On the chat, please, if you like to volunteer Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, great. I would need volunteers, please. Nobody is volunteering, please.
Okay, TM Christopher, this is TM Tessie.
Yes?
Be a volunteer. I'll give it a try.
Okay. Okay, TM Tessie. Okay. Thank you so much, TM Tessie. I have a list of 6 questions. Do you mind picking a number from 1 to 6?
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay. Tell us of an experience you had, if any, that taught you the importance of staying resolute.
Thank you very much, Tim Christopher. Wow. An important situation I had that taught me to stay resolute. This really leaves me thinking. This brings me to a situation whereby I experienced a colleague of mine wanting to handle a presentation where they were not formally prepared for. But they took out the 10 minutes they had before the presentation to go through the profile, to go through the topics, to analyze the content, and to keep it steady throughout the presentation. I must say that taught me how to be resilient in a time of great pressure. Thank you, TM Christopher.
Great. Thank you so much for that, TM Tessie. Do I have any other volunteers, please? If you would like to volunteer, the questions
yes. I'll be volunteering, please.
Okay. I have TM Ayoola. Am I correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you so much, TM Ayoola. Apart from question number 3, please choose a number between 1 and 6.
Okay, question 4.
Okay, thank you so much for that, TM Ayoola. What comes to mind when you hear the name John D. Rockefeller?
What comes to my mind anytime I hear the name John D. Rockefeller? Yes, John D. Rockefeller was a once-time wealthy American businessman. He was the strongman, the #1 oil man in the whole world. He was the founder of Standard Oil, which later was deregulated. So 7 different companies that was popularly known as the 7 sisters, including Exxon, Shell, Chevron, which was previously Gulf. John D. Rockefeller was known to be someone that was very ruthless when it comes to business. And even though he carried out some humanitarian activities in his community, but the larger world referred him to somebody who was very, very ruthless during his time. He wouldn't give any other business companies to survive because he was very, very competitive. John D. Rockefeller was accused and was charged to court by the US people and the US government during his time. He died as a wealthy man, and today his name rings bell all over the world as the one-time richest man in the world. He indeed lived his life. And today, his legacies are there for us to see in all the oil companies that are still existing in the world. The oil industry would not have achieved its feat now and would not even have been valuable as it is now if not for the impact of John D. Rockefeller, the Table Topics Master.
Wow. Clap for that. Clap for that. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, TM Ayo Ola. I have a volunteer. Someone volunteered on the chat, and I'm going to call that person up. TM Queen. Hello, TM Queen. Can you hear me?
I'm here. I can hear you, yes.
Okay, great. Question number 3 is gone. Question number 4 is gone. So we have 1, 2, 5, and 6. Between those numbers, please pick one.
I'll go with number 5. Number 5.
Sorry, TM Queen, could you say that again? I think I lost
I'll go
you
with
for
number
a bit.
5. I'll go with number 5.
Okay, number 5. Number 5 question says, what was your greatest fear as a teenager, and have they come true yet?
Thank you, Table Topics Master. One of my greatest fears growing up was public speaking. I could do anything in public but speak. Growing up, I used to do dance mimes, I guess they used to call it at the time, where you would dance in front of the school, in front of the class. Like, I could do all that but speak. I remember a senior once told me, how come you can dance in front of the school, but you can't speak in front of your hostel? Because it's speaking, it's different. But public speaking was one of my biggest fears. And so I was very happy when I came across Toastmasters. And that has, I won't say made me perfect, but it has really reduced that fear immensely. Now, if I have to speak in public, I will prepare for it, as we all should. I shouldn't take the Toastmaster journey for granted. But it has given me a lot of practice such that I can go up there with the confidence that I won't mess this up, but I'll do my best. Public speaking Toastmaster has transformed my fear of public speaking, and so it has helped me, it has given me the opportunity to face my fears, and I feel that has really taken this fear. So I think I need to find a new fear now, because public speaking fear has gone down drastically, so I'm on the hunt for a new fear. The Table Topics Master.
Great. Thank you so much, TM Queen. I have space for one more volunteer. I would like to volunteer. That is AA Paul. Sent that directly to me. And we have one more person. So I hope we're not pleading the fifth here with the guys in charge. But please, maybe we take a fifth person. Fumi also has volunteered. So AA Paul, are you there, please?
Right with you, sir. Right with the house.
Great. I do not have question number 5 anymore. I do not have number 4 anymore. And I do not have number 3 anymore. I have 1, 2, 5, no. Oh, I have 1, 2, and 6. So please choose between those numbers, please.
All right. I would like to put the floor with number 1, even though I'm not the first person.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Yes, sir.
While growing up, who was that one person whom you thought was unfaltering? This person was steady. This person was like a rock. Who was that one person while growing up for you?
My dad.
Could you elaborate on that and tell us why that was, please?
My dad was a military man. He was a soldier in the army. He was also a staunch, he was a religious person. Until he retired, after leaving the military, he was in the pastoral for 30 years. He retired over 2 years ago. But while growing up, almost everything about him, he was rock steady, strong character, the church, the home, the way he does things. Let me say, if he promises you something, he will deliver on it. He may not be able to deliver on time, but then he will ultimately deliver. Then he's a very bold person that while he became a pastor, he goes to, he visits church members. He makes them to, he challenges them, he makes them to sit up, he makes them to if I don't know, he calls people up, he challenges people to a higher standard of living in their confession, in their action. And more so, I also see him as being fearless. He can confront anybody. He can, so long as the truth, he's ready to say it. So, my dad. So I will pause there. Hello, sir. So
the table topic master, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, clearly,
we
sir.
Can hear you now.
Okay. Oh, okay, great. Oh, I think my network was faltering there at the point. Thank you so much for that, A.A. Paul.
Thank you, sir.
I hope, like I said, we don't have to plead the fifth with the guys in charge, but I'll be taking one more person. Fumi, are you a Toastmaster or a guest? Please, can I have you, please?
I am a Toastmaster.
Oh, great. TM Fumi, I have two more questions. Question number 1, question number 2, and question number 6. Please pick one of those numbers.
I'll go with number 1.
Number 1. Okay, great. The rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. That's the question. What comes to mind? Talk about that.
The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. There are habits for the rich, there are habits for the poor. The rich people go with rich habits. Most of the habits are discipline and consistency. The poor have a mindset, and that mindset is the fact that the rich are stealing from them. And so they do not take time to either read or be consistent in what they're doing. They would rather go with pity party. I am rich because I read. People who read are rich in their minds. People who have positive mentality are rich in their mind. Richness is not just about wealth. Richness is a totality. And if one is unfluttering about riches, you will research and find out what it takes. There are principles of wealth. There are principles of being rich. And we need to be rich, whether spiritually, whether mentally. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, TM Fumi. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for everybody who participated. And for those people who didn't participate, please participate next time. This, like I said earlier, helps us to build our skills when it comes to impromptu speaking. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you for the honor. I hand the meeting over back to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, TM Christopher, and thank you for everybody that participated in Table Topic Master. Okay, I think now we'll call for a vote, and then we'll bring on the Table Topics Evaluator.
Hey, what's like Billy say? What time when she man she buy now?
Stay on phone, please.
Sorry, before the table topic evaluates, are we not supposed to vote?
Oh, yes, that's the first thing I said. I said now
that was what the Toastmasters of the day said. So the polling is
sorry about that, my bad. I'm very sorry.
No problem.
So in the next 2 minutes, in the next 1 minute, rather 60 seconds, you have the poll in your front. So we'll encourage everyone to vote for your own best speaker. Nobody will see you voting, even if you flaunt into your face. So it's on your device when you see names of people you need to vote for, since you've listened to their speech and it's not a showstopper. So in the next few seconds now, you see the poll. See, I'm writing, I think we're ready. So Toastmaster of the day, you can engage us while the poll is forthcoming. Thank you.
Okay, while we wait for the poll, maybe we can take comments for anybody who has anything to say about how they've enjoyed the table topic session. I mean, I found it quite useful, especially around how the rich have habits and the poor have habits. And I like the fact that reading was mentioned. I think that that's very important for most people. Reading enriches the mind. Maybe. So is there anything that stood out for anybody as well that they would like to say without bringing any bias towards the voting, of course?
Hi, good afternoon or good morning, Tim Tessie. I'll just follow your lead. I enjoyed when one of the speakers said, you know, she had a very resolute fear of public speaking because it's something that resonates with me. I mean, I could do everything else apart from speaking in front of people. And it's interesting that I have the opportunity as the VPE to mentor people. And, you know, sometimes I have to pinch myself and say, Joy, are you really the one telling people do this, do that? So my Toastmasters journey, it hasn't ended yet. It's been an extremely rewarding one. And I look forward to greater stages. I'll just leave it at that for now.
Thank you very, very much, TM Joy. I must say that also resonates with me as well. I mean, just the fear of speaking. And I think that's the essence of Toastmaster, to help everyone overcome this fear. There anybody else who has any other comment? Thank you.
Well, I think Toastmaster Ayola's question that he selected was basically made for him because he knew so much about J.D. Rockefeller. Like he could basically write on him, because I feel like if that question had come to me, like I only know about I only see his name in quotes, basically. That's all I know. That I mean, I know that he had done. I mean, I know he was rich. I didn't even know what business he was in. Like he had like his whole profile, his bio already. Like I thought that was perfect.
Are you reading that from Google?
He knows him. Like
I agree with you, TM King. I completely agree.
Okay, what is happening with the polls?
Please, the co-host can launch the polls for the table topic.
Chinedu, okay. Chinedu, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, if the polls are not ready, while we wait, if time permits us to avoid time, is it possible to move on to the speakers for the day?
I think that we should.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll come back to the evaluation after the general speakers.
Okay. So now we're moving on to the general speakers of the day. Like I said, apologies, my camera isn't on. The network is really bad. Okay, the polls are up, everyone.
So please kindly do this within the next 1 minute.
If you can go ahead, the poll vote is over.
Hello, Toastmaster of the day. You can introduce the table topic evaluators.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and receive TM Chinedu Omenkuku. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Who is the table topics evaluator for the day? TM Chinedu.
Thank you, the Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, everybody, Toastmasters and guests. I will be doing the evaluation for the speakers of the table topic section. I'll go straight away because I think we are pressed for time. I hope everybody can hear me clearly. I'll start with TM Tess. TM Tess was asked the question to share the experience that has taught you the importance of staying resolute. That was a very beautiful speech. One thing I like about your presentation was you started by repeating the question. That is a very useful technique that we speakers put at the back of our pockets because it gives you some time to gather your thoughts while when you repeat the question. You also use the story to engage us. Storytelling is also a very good skill. You told us a story. You shared some of the challenges you had. You told us the solution you used to solve that challenge, and you shared the end result with us. That itself was a very good flow in your story. That was very, very nice. Very good speech. What will I have you do better in the future? I think you had so much time. You have about 2 minutes to deliver your speech. I felt your speech was too short and you had more time to express more thoughts or share more thoughts with us. I also understand the issue with the network and a lot of people not putting on the video, but videos actually help in adding some, so we can see some other expressions that typically we won't just get from seeing your voice. So those are areas I feel you can definitely improve on. The second speech was given by TM Ayola Fadeyi. The question was, what comes in mind when you hear the name John Rockefeller? Of course, very beautifully done. Your speech was fantastic. A lot of people are already questioning how well informed you were already about the subject before. Maybe it's just, you're just lucky, I guess. But your speech was very good. You started again by repeating the question, which is very, very apt. You gave very detailed history of both, very detailed information of both the history of this person and the character of this person, which was very, very good. You talked about some of his attributes, which actually addressed the question, what comes to mind? So you hit the nail. You talked about his competitiveness, his perceived cruelty, his end time, how he became the richest man as at his time. That was very, very good speech, well delivered. In fact, I found it very hard to fault or to comment on what you can improve upon. You delivered that very, very professionally. What could you have done better? I guess positioning your camera. The glare from the sunlight was affecting the video quality. So maybe choosing a better position to sit when giving this kind of speech would have made your delivery better. I'll move over to the third speaker, TM Queen Edith. Your question was, what was your greatest fear as a teenager, and has that fear come to pass? First things first, I think your background is very, very beautiful. It's very unique. It actually grabs attention. Very good one. Your delivery was also very, very good, almost motivational. You shared a fear that can, I think, resonate with a lot of us in this meeting. A lot of us are here because of either want to improve our public speaking skills or leadership, or we've always had that phobia and we're finding a way out of it. So that's, your answer actually resonates with us. We could relate with it. The fact you walked us through your past experience from childhood days, you portrayed the points of most of us have of public speaking, and then you went ahead to motivate us with your story in Toastmasters. I think that was very, very good. In fact, it was very, very hard again to find a fault with your speech. One thing I can point out is your hand gesture, especially with your right hand. You kept on, using it more than I think desired. I know it's not panic or tension because you're a very experienced speaker, so there's definitely room to improve, so you could always work on that. The fourth speaker is A.A. Paul. Forgive me, I don't know if you're a Toastmaster, but your question was, while growing up, who was the one person you think was unfaltering? I like the fact you went straight to the point. That worked. You gave a very descriptive story about your dad, his early days, his growing up days. I like the fact you were able to also pick up a lot of times when you stuttered. So maybe you were gathering your thoughts. You didn't just end it there. You were able to always pick up and continue your speech. That was fantastic. You actually used your time very, very efficiently. You used the better portion of the 2 minutes, which is very, very good. What will I expect you to do better to make your speech better in the future? I expected you to use the word of the day, especially since your question contained the word of the day. That would have scored you some points. And I think you could have just done something better with the conclusion. I have some ideas I could share. Because of time, I want to go straight, but your conclusion can actually be better. The last but not the least was TM Fumi. Your question was, rich get richer, poor get poorer. Again, you repeated the question, very, very good. Your speech really, really resonates to me personally because I agree with everything you said. The points you make were very, very clear about, you differentiated the two subjects in the question. That was very, very clear. You talked about the habits, the mindsets, how education plays a role and all that. You also used the word of the day, which is very, very good. And I think we're the only tabletop speaker that used the word of the day. So big kudos to that. What can you do better? Since feedback is our tradition here, I think one of the things you could have done better is not stay in the car to have this meeting. I don't know if you're driving, we want to make sure you're safe. So it's always better to be in a very relaxed environment when giving your speeches. All in all, your conclusion was good, your speech was good, kudos, and big thanks to everybody that participated in the table topic speech. Thank you. Over to you, the Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, TM Chinedu. I think we can all agree that that was clear, concise, and apt, and very informative. Thank you very much for that feedback. So we'll go ahead to introduce the speakers and the evaluators for the day. The first speaker is TM Barak Awoyemi, and the evaluator is TM Ayola Fadeyimi. I will call on TM Ayola to tell us a bit about the project before TM Barak goes ahead to give the speech. Chairman Ayola.
Yes, thank you very much, Tessie, for inviting me to the podium. Tiem Barakat Awuyemi, this will be your first speech in your Toastmasters journey. Your pathway is innovative planning, and this is your first speech, as I said earlier, icebreaker speech. The title of your speech is The Monster Called Stuttering. And the purpose statement of your speech is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Tiem Barakat Awuyemi, I would listen to you very carefully and watch out for your body language and every other thing considered necessary in a standard Toastmaster speech. I look forward to hearing your speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Mayola. Now we'll call on Tiem Barak to give us her speech.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and pleasant guests. To start this afternoon, I would like to ask you 2 questions. Does anybody here know what it means to stutter? And have you ever heard anybody stutter? Well, if you ask me, I would answer yes to both questions because I have heard myself stutter for as long as I can remember. Back in primary school, anytime questions were asked in a class, either to the whole class or to me as a person, I knew the answer 9 out of 10 times, but I never answered because I was afraid of stuttering. Each time those questions were asked, an image would flash through my mind's eye, and I would see myself stuttering while trying to answer. I would see my classmates, jeering and laughing at me, and I would see my teacher wondering what the problem was. So I took these mental images to be premonitions of what was to come. And to prevent it from becoming my reality, I chose to keep quiet. That is why for a very long time, my teachers were very surprised because I always got the best grades in the exams. And they could not reconcile the fact that I could not answer questions in class to the fact that I was doing very well in exams. It took them some time to realize that my not answering questions had nothing to do with my lack of understanding of the class materials, but because I was afraid of stuttering. Unfortunately, I took this attitude into my adult years. Anytime problems arose around me, even when I had good ideas on what should be done, I always kept quiet because I didn't want to stutter. And on a few occasions, when I could see people around me, maybe members of my team, for example, coming up with what to do. Even when I knew that what they were saying was not really going to work out, I always kept mum because I didn't want to stutter. But it all came to a head for me 2 months ago when I took an English exam. And with very minimal preparation, I got the maximum scores in the listening, in the reading, and in the writing portions of the exam. To be honest, I did get a good score in speaking, but I didn't get the maximum score. And I knew that my score was not the true reflection of what I was capable of doing. I remember walking into the exam hall and I was preoccupied with thoughts of what I would do if I stuttered, what I should not do to keep myself from stuttering. And even when I got into the exam, when the question prompt was given to me, I focused more on stuttering than I did on what the question was supposed to be. And of course, it reflected in my score. I woke up the next morning after getting my exam results feeling very angry. And it dawned on me for the very first time that I had given stuttering so much power over me. I discovered that for the very first time also that the problem was not stuttering, but the fact that I had given it so much power to control me. It was an act of my will to relinquish my power that way. So I remember waking my husband up to just tell him that I wanted to overcome my fear of public speaking. And my husband asked me if I had heard about Toastmasters International, and I answered in the negative. Immediately, I went on Google and I started doing some research on it. And to my utter amazement, I saw stories of people who stutter just like me, who joined Toastmasters because they wanted to overcome their fear of public speaking. I also watched a few videos on YouTube of people who stuttered and who joined Toastmasters because they wanted to overcome their fear of public speaking. Immediately, I watched those videos and read those stories. I decided that I was also going to take the same step. So I registered with Toastmasters. So I am here for 3 reasons. My first reason is I want to take my power back from the monster called stuttering. I have given stuttering so much power over me for so many years, and I am no longer going to allow stuttering to rob me of my God-given right of self-expression. And I believe that overcoming my fear of public speaking by coming here is going to help me in doing that. My second reason for being here is to become a better speaker. I believe that joining a club like this will arm me with tools and also the opportunity to practice so that I can get better at it. And last but not least, I want to improve my leadership skills. Because of stuttering, even when leadership opportunities were presented to me on a silver platter, I always, I always chose not to go for it because I was afraid of stuttering. And I believe that if I improve my communication skills, my leadership skills will also improve because you can't have excellent leadership skills without excellent communication skills. And like I said earlier on, I'm saying no more to the fear of stuttering. I'm not giving stuttering that power over my life anymore. I am very happy to be here, and I look forward to learning with and learning from you all. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, TM Baraka. I'm sure we can all say that we enjoyed your speech. Now we'll move on to the second session. We have TM Dara Laleyi, who is speaking, and we have the evaluator. And we have the evaluator as TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson. So please, can I call on TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson to tell us more about this project?
Hi, Toastmaster. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, yes. Toastmaster Dara, your project is on researching and presenting. You have a 5 to 7 minutes time duration to deliver a speech. And the purpose statement of your project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Toastmaster Dara, 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much.
Toastmaster of the day.
Yes, please. I said now we call on TM Dara to please give us her speech.
Could you please read TM Dara's profile?
Okay. Sorry, it's a bit slow. The network is quite bad. You have to give me a second, please.
Can I go ahead and do that? While it's loading?
Yes, please, you can.
Yes.
Okay, welcome to the virtual lesson, TM Dara Laleyi. TM Dara Laleyi Toastmasters. TM Dara Laleyi joined Toastmasters
Hello, is there?
Can you hear me clearly? I think the same network issue all around. Can you hear me clearly right away now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, TM Dara Lanley, she's a lawyer. And is a former secretary of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters, who joined Toastmasters in 2009. She loves Toastmasters, socializing, writing and reading. She's West topic speaker at area contest. Welcome to the Valley, TM Dara Lanley. Thank you.
Thank you. The global data industry in 2018 was valued at $168 billion US. And in 2022, it is valued to rise up to $274 billion US. So what does that tell us? That data is the new oil. The Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. The data industry has risen phenomenally. We use data in every single aspect of our lives. And the globalized world has meant that every little thing we do involves data. Social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, your banks, the BVN number, the national identity that the government is doing right now, it involves data. There is a centralized platform where everything is linked. Your BVN links all your bank accounts. And with the linking of the BVN with the NIN, it just means that at the click of a button, anyone can access your data. I got a bag recently from a friend. And the moment I got into my house, I logged in to my Instagram account and I saw my bag advertised on my Instagram page. And I thought, oh, wow, what a coincidence. But it's not a coincidence. Smart TVs, smartphones, they all have the ability to listen to your conversations. And that privacy policy that they ask you to accept gives them the right to share what you say with third parties. Does that scare you? The fact that your data can be anywhere and everywhere, and it might be outside of your control? And if it does, then it has scared a lot of people too. Which is why governments around the world have recognized the danger in data falling into the wrong hands and enacted regulations against that. The European Union has the General Data Protection Regulations, 2018, that member countries are obliged to sign up to. In Nigeria, we have the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, which guarantees right to privacy. And that right can only be subjected to a situation whereby it's in the interest of national security or the public interest. Then you have the Nigeria Data Protection Regulations of 2019, which allows you as the data subject, the person whose data is being collected, to consent to the collection of your data. We all have the right to refuse our data being collected. We all have the right to know where our data is going and the purposes for which our data will be used. We have the right to know when there is a data breach involving our personal information. If our data is going to be transferred to another country, we need to know about it. Companies are required to tell us this information. So gone are the days where you're asked to fill a form online or on paper, and then you have no idea of where your data has gone. You have this right as the consumer, as the customer, as the data subject. But this right is not just enshrined in the data protection regulations in Nigeria. There are other sectoral regulations that protect data. Banks are required to protect the data of their customers under the CBN Consumer Protection Framework of 2016. The Nigerian Communications Commission for Telecoms is also required to protect the data of customers, which is you and I as users of telecoms, of mobile phones rather. So there's this general recognition that data is gold, data is oil. There is also the Cybercrimes Prohibition Act of 2015, which requires companies in Nigeria to protect data, not just personal data. It extends to government data. And not to scare you, but for government data, the penalties range up to death if convicted. But yeah, for it to get there, it has to be a very serious breach. But what do I urge everyone to do? To know that your data is out there, to be very careful when filling forms or when you're on websites and they ask you accept cookies, read the privacy policy. Sometimes we get confused and you think, oh, it's too much information, and you just click accept. But this information is actually in simple, plain language. So if we just take the time out to read our rights and exactly what information these companies are entitled to, once we click on accept,
I told you to wear a shirt.
Then
you don't know the difference between shirt and
we will all be able to better protect ourselves. The world is growing and becoming increasingly globalized. There can be a situation whereby in future, people can be denied positions based on the data collected about their ancestors. We don't know where our data might end up. So it's imperative that we know that data is important. We know how to protect ourselves, and we know that there are structures in Nigeria and in the world that are put in place to protect our data. The Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, TM Dara, for that insightful speech. So now we'll move on to the third speaker, TM Abubakar Gimba, and he'll be evaluated by TM Samson Folade. TM Samson is a sitting speaker who has won the best speaker. He's also a banker who loves to read and listen to people. TM Samson, we'll now hand over to you.
There would be no third speech today, Toastmaster of the day.
Oh, sorry about that. All right, thank you very much. I would then quickly call on the votes. And while we're doing that, I will take that time to introduce the first evaluator of the day, TM Ayola Fadeyi. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. TM Ayola is an engineer. He joined Toastmasters in 2019. He loves seeing natural reliefs, listening to traditional music, reading, and mental meditation. TM Ayola?
Yes. Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day, for calling me back.
TM Ayola, 1 minute before you do your evaluation so that we can take a vote.
Okay.
1 minute, sir. So 1 minute. So please let us hold votes. So we have 20 seconds more to vote. Please kindly ensure you vote. Is your right to vote. So I think that will be your TM Ayola. Over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day. TM Barakat Awoyemi, I must say that your speech was exhilarating. The title of your speech is The Monster Called Stuttering. You started your speech by asking us a question. What that does is that it engages your audience. It makes your audience feel your speech, and the audience will try to play out what you are telling them by asking them questions. Then you took us this journey, a story of you writing a test of English exam where you scored maximum marks in 3 sections of 4, but for speaking, you didn't score the best of marks. That spurred you to join Toastmasters. You also told us 3 things that would make you join Toastmasters. First is to take your power back and not allow structure to negatively affect you, to become a better speaker and improve on your leadership skills. You are now determined to not allow stuttering to deter you from going forward and taking up leadership skills. What would I like you to do better? During your speech, you seem not to be stationary. You seem to move sideways often. And then we couldn't see your body. You tried making some hand gestures, but you couldn't see it well. Maybe next time you could just position your camera such that we will see you in entirety and we'll be able to relate more with your speech. Your body, your speech was well structured. There was an opening by the way of the question you asked, and then the body of your speech with which you took us through your journey of joining Toastmasters. And you made a conclusion by saying that for now, there is no fear of stuttering. You also told us that you look forward to learning more. I can tell you that if you do not delay and if you not deter your journey in Toastmasters, you will definitely conquer stuttering. I look forward to listening to you more, all the best, and I can say that you achieved the objective of your speech. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much for that evaluation.
The Toastmaster, please. Okay, without much further ado, sorry for that break in transmission. So TM Rotimi is our second evaluator. TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson, IP3. TM Rotimi joined Toastmasters in 2017 and is the immediate past president of Lighthouse Toastmasters Club. He's one of the IT professional, very astute in the industry to reckon with, who loves to travel, adventure, and extreme sports. Wow. He's the current immediate past president of Lighthouse Club. Welcome to the virtual lectern, TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, Mr. President, for that introduction. Toastmaster Dara Lanley, the objective of your speech was to research the topic, and it was quite clear that you met those objectives. Your speech had a it's important that you try to capture your audience. And I think that's what you did in the introduction. You threw out numbers. You said you had 168 billion, but my internet was quite shaky, so I didn't get it anymore. But you threw out numbers to grab our attention, which I think you did very well. Your speech was structured: introduction, body, and conclusion. I'll come to that later. You had very good hand gestures, so I could see you when you were talking, you were trying to explain, using your hands to explain things. So we could see you had good body language together with your hand gestures. You also had very, very good eye contact. All through the speech, I noticed you were looking directly at us. I'm sure you were looking at the camera so we could feel you. Because in virtual meetings, it's quite difficult to enjoy and giving a speech. People can feel you, but I can see you were looking directly at the camera so we could see you properly. You were calm. You're obviously an experienced speaker, so I couldn't feel any form of tension or any form of tension around you. You were very calm while you were giving your speech. You also gave us a call to action. With every speech, it's important to tell people what they are supposed to do. You told us what we should do when we are visiting websites, all those cookies, all those privacy things. At times, we need to go through them. Overall, your speech was well researched. Now, what are the areas I think you could have done better? I think the first thing is your camera positioning. It's important that your camera in virtual meetings is at the level of your eye. Try as much as possible to put it at a place where people can see you eye to eye. It impacts the way people perceive your speech. So I would employ you to work on that. The second part is, it's a research speech. Every time you throw out numbers or information, you need to back it up. You did that very well in the body of your speech, but in the beginning, I know you threw out two numbers, but you did not give us the source of those information. And since it's a research speech, that is extremely important. You throw out numbers, you tell us where you got those numbers, or how we should not throw out those numbers from the air. So, but overall, you did an excellent speech. I look forward to your next speech. The Toastmaster.
I think we're having issues with the Toastmaster. She's having issues with her connectivity. So if we're done with the evaluations, we would just proceed. We're not having the third speech, so we would ask the polls to go up. Can we have the results for if the polls have gone up, can we have the results for the polls for the best evaluator?
Okay, the polls is ongoing, so people are voting. So in the next 40 seconds, that will be done, and we'll move on to the next item.
Poll votes. Votes over.
Okay, are we done with the votes?
Yes, we are.
Good afternoon once again. I'm the Vice President Education of Lighthouse Toastmasters, and I'll be standing in for the Toastmaster of the day for the rest of the meeting. So right about now, I would be calling on the general evaluator to call on his team members to give their reports. So can we please have TN Timothy Awanowe call his team members to give their reports for the meeting?
Okay, thank you very much. The meeting went very well, as we have all experienced. So I will be calling the role players to give us reports on each of the segments that was carried out. So first, I'll be calling the grammarian to give us a report on how the word of the day was used. So over to you, TM Korede.
Thank you, TM Timothy. And for the word of the day on faltering, I'll say on an overall basis, it wasn't well used today. I don't know what happened today, but we didn't get it used quite a lot. If I go to the table topics, and thanks to TM Christopher, the questions reflected the word of the day. TM Tessie didn't use it. She actually had a very good topic on sharing the experience of staying resolute, which also is also in line with unfaltering, but she didn't use it. TM Ayola also did not use it. Well, he was speaking, he was far gone on John Rockefeller, which was also quite educative. TM Quinn used close to the word, but not the exact word. For, I don't know about AA Paul, if he's a TM, a Toastmaster, he had a very good topic that also should have used the word unfaltering, he didn't. I think it was TM Fumi Lori that used the word when she was talking about being rich and being poor. Also, if you go to the speakers of the day, it wasn't generally used. I tried to send a reminder on the group chat in terms of the word of the day. Please don't forget. So in a summary, it could have been a better day with the word unfaltering. It wasn't well used, but in terms of grammar, I think we had a good day overall. Thank you very much, and it's my pleasure. Over to you, TM Timothy. Can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly. I think we need to move to the next speaker to give our report, which is the timekeeper.
Okay, for the table topic segment, I think we really spent a lot of time there, probably due to the network issues. Anyway, generally today. Okay, for the first speaker, I can't remember her name right now, but she spent just 1 minute and 3 seconds. Then TM Ayola spent 1 minute 48 seconds. Queen, 1 minute 30 seconds. Then AA Paul, 1 minute 47 seconds. And then Fumi spent 1 minute 12 seconds. Then for the evaluator, the table topics evaluator, TM Chinedu spent. Can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay. So TM Chinedu spent 7 minutes and 8 seconds. Then, okay. So for the prepared speeches, TM Barakat, that's for a 4 to 6 minute speech. She spent 5 minutes, 35 seconds giving a speech. Then for the 5 to 7 minute speech, TM Dara spent 7 minutes and 23 seconds giving her speech. And for the evaluators for the prepared speeches, TM Ayola spent 1 minute 59 seconds, and then TM Rotimi spent 2 minutes and 10 seconds. That will be all.
Okay, thank you very much, TM Frances. So we'd like to have the next speaker's report. That's the listening evaluator, TM Quinn. Over to you.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and welcome back. This is the exam portion of the meeting. So I have a few questions, and if you know the answers, it means you are listening well. The first is, who can say 2 things about J.D. Rockefeller? Any two things you learned? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. He is a philanthropist and he was into oil.
Okay, Toastmaster AA Paul, do you want to give your two as well?
Yeah, he founded the biggest corporation of his day. Then he was also sued big time by the US government. Thank you.
Thank you. I know there's a lot about him that was shared, so thank you guys for sharing at least that's four things already about J.J. Rockefeller. Next question. Who told Toastmaster Barakat about Toastmasters?
Her husband.
And what was the most recent, or when was the most recent Data Protection Act enacted in Nigeria?
2019.
2019, yeah. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed the rest of your day.
So thank you very much, TM Queen. So we'll take the report for the R counter, TM Shion Olofimaki. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, and well done to everyone that spoke in whatever capacity. As earlier introduced, my role was to note the overused words and the pause fillers.
Did you forget anything there? What did you forget? Tell me.
We had quite a few. So I'll just list those that had pause fillers and how many, then announce the one that had the most. Firstly, TM Christopher, 12 pause fillers. So when I say pause fillers, I mean arms. TM Tessie, 1. TM Queen, 10. And the overuse of the word fear and like. TM AA Paul, 5. And the overuse of the phrase make them 2. TM Francis, 4. TM Joy, 4. TM Chinedu, 8. TM Lanre, 3. TM Korede, 10. TM Barakat, 6. That's the final. TM Barakat, 6 is the final one. So the person with the highest pause fillers is TM Christopher. So what do we say to TM Christopher?
Don't do it again.
Don't do that again.
Don't do it again.
All right, over to the Toastmaster.
TM Joy.
To unmute my computer. So very quickly, we'll be moving on to the next part of the meeting. In the absence of the general evaluator, Tim Larry, can I ask you to give an evaluation of the meeting? I beg your pardon.
Okay,
or would you?
Okay, he's
would
around.
you grant?
He's around.
Okay.
He's around now. Okay, TM Timothy.
Yes, I'm around now. Okay. So the meeting quietly. Okay, let me restart. Sorry. And the meeting started quietly.
Can we hear him?
It's quite unfortunate that we cannot
can't hear him.
TM Timothy properly. TM Timothy, if you can hear us, I think your network is unfair on you today. TM Timothy, I think we can't hear you. Your network has been unfair to you today. Okay, let me improvise and be Timothy's interpreter. Can you all hear me clearly, please?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests and friends all over the world, wherever you are, but good afternoon from Nigeria anyway. The meeting has been succinct and wonderful meeting, despite some few challenges. We started around 11:08, which is unusual to us. We usually start on time, 11:08 a.m. That's when we started the meeting. And each speakers have done well, and the table topic went well, and we're able to stand in gap for each other. So above all, it has been a wonderful virtual meeting for now, and we look forward to see more of you in the next meeting. Over to you, the Toastmasters of the day. TM Joy.
Thank you very much, Tim Lanre, for that evaluation. As we say in Toastmasters, you always have to be ready, and having to carry on in the event that there are some issues, be it network or human, is one of the things or one of the takeaways that I have made from being a Toastmaster. So very quickly, I would be announcing the votes for today, and I will start with the, just trying to get it off the chat. I'll be starting with, can I please have the results? I'm trying to pull it up. I know Tim wrote to me. Yes. Okay. So for the table topics session, can we all guess who the winner is? Can we all unmute our mics and start with the drum rolls? The best speaker, I can't hear anything. The best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Ayola Fadeyi. I was going to call my name over there. Well done, Tim Ayola. The best speaker, the best prepared speech speaker is none other than the delectable Toastmaster Barakat Awoyemi. Can we please give her a round of applause? And our best evaluator for today, the third day in July 2021, is none other than the immediate past president, Lighthouse Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Rotimi Omotayo Benson. Thank you all to all our role players, to all our speakers, to all our visitors. It has been an absolute delight, regardless of all the technical challenges that we've had. I will be calling on the president of Lighthouse Toastmasters, who has been on standby from the beginning of the meeting, to give the closing remarks. So without much ado, let us have Toastmaster Olanrewaju Lawal, who is the current president of Lighthouse Toastmasters. He joined Toastmasters in 2017, and he's an IT enthusiast and a fashion designer. He loves dancing salsa, watching football, singing, and reading. He has served Toastmasters in different capacities, including Club Growth Director and Area Growth Director. Please put our hands together for Toastmaster Olanrewaju Lawal.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Joy. That was succinct. That was nice way to introduce. So without much ado, I would like, before I go to the announcement, I would like us to signify if you are coming for the first time to join us on this virtual meeting. If you are a visitor in the house,
Okay. What was wrong with the other one?
we would like to know. Okay, I think someone is speaking at the background. Okay, we would like to know what you do and who asks you, how did you join Toastmaster? Maybe probably online, or how do you find your way here? So I'm saying iPhone. I don't know the name on iPhone, whether you're a Toastmaster or you're a guest. Would like you to introduce yourself. And I'm saying Adedapo. I'm saying Ola Olu. So who goes first?
For iPhone, I'm a Toastmaster and I'm Muslimat. So I forgot to rename myself.
Okay, so
our president, well done.
Thank you very much. So AA Paul, are you a Toastmaster or a guest? We love your table topic.
I'm a Toastmaster.
Now, it quite reflects during your presentation as well.
Oh,
and
you,
I must say, I like your baritone voice. That was nice.
Thank you.
So any other guest in the house? Adedapo.
Yeah, I'm Adedapo. I'm a guest in the house. I must say I really enjoyed the session.
Okay. Okay, would you like to join or you're still thinking about it?
Obviously, I would love to join.
You love to join. So Vice President membership, okay, she's not here, but we'll be posting some link, I think, on the chat box, whereby you can click the link and put in your details, and we'll get back to you with an email with other details. Thank you very much for coming, Mr. Adedapo, intending Toastmaster. So we have another intended Toastmaster, Susan Fashikpe. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone. It's very exciting to be on this platform. I'm a guest. Right? And it's been a very interesting time listening to overcome my stuttering. I think that was the best part for me, basically, right? As I said, I'm Susan Technologies enthusiast, like to be part of the Toastmaster.
Okay, we lost some few tips. Maybe you're trying to across to us a few times early out of your introduction, but we can see your name. So are you joining us from next week upward?
Oh, yes, I would love to.
Okay, you'll get a feedback from us as soon as possible. So any other guests in the house? Ola, are you a guest? Maureen Udeze, are you a guest or a Toastmaster? Maureen Udeze, can you hear us, please? Though we have some special guests. So, okay, a veteran. Wow, wow. You see, that means I'm in line. Those are special guests. Those are special guests. And we have Toastmaster Chineze Amanfo. Those are special guests as well. And we have Toastmasters. These are special guests.
President, well done. No?
These are president, past female president, delectable, beautiful, charming past president. So without much ado, because we know Saturdays is for Owambe and some socializing, and we don't want to make everything to be looked too serious. And I decided to dress down this Saturday so that we can calm down. And so we will be having our first physical meeting. And that will be at 1004, and this will be shared with you. Just watch out for your email and watch out for some spam mails as well, because you never can tell. Good at times drop in the spam mail or junk mails, so that we can get the right information. We'll be sharing with you as well. I don't have it right away at the back of my hands, but the membership will be forwarded to Susan, to Adapo. I think those are the two guests right now. Any other guest? Olaolu, a veteran as well, as it says, maybe you belong to those categories. Thomas Agochi, you don't for name be mentioned. Okay.
Thomas is not a guest, though.
Okay.
Thomas used to be an ESCO, Lighthouse Prestige.
That's Prestige, you know.
Yep.
So we're having a color party. Okay. Toastmaster Thomas, can you please just say hi before we call it a day? We'd like to hear your voice. Toastmaster Thomas Agochi, just say hi. Hi is there for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm quite late for the meeting. I'm so.
Let's see your face.
Let's see your face, so that we know we're not speaking to robots. You know, it's an artificial intelligence. You might decide to send a robot for the meeting. No. Your face can be mimicked. Let's use your face as a capture, so that you didn't send robot to this meeting.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir. Can you excuse my face? But the next meeting, I'm going to show my face, please.
Okay, you come to the physical meeting. So our physical meeting, the first physical meeting so far, we'll be having that at 1004. It's a ground floor block. Yes, we'll be sending the details to your email. Please watch out mail, watch out to group chat, WhatsApp group, and to the two visitors we have as of today. We'll send the details to you as well. I've gotten their details, so we'll connect to you. So by the power introduced to me in collective attitude with my members, I would like to call this meeting to a close. Then I'd like to adjourn till July 17, 11 a.m., 1004, first physical meeting. Thank you very much, please. So now the meeting is over anyway. So Timothy, if you still decide to show your face, it's still allowed. So I'll try to look for the link. And TM Ayofade, thank you very much for coming. Always our pleasure.
It's my pleasure. Always been here. Thank you for driving us well.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the meeting is over. You can socialize for the remaining 3 minutes before it's exactly 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
Oh, TM Adeni, Demola Adeni.
Thank you.
that you know, once it comes to names, it's deliberate. Olukorede Demola Adeni.
Yes, yes. Well done. You handled the meeting very well.
Oh, it's my pleasure. TM, okay, I want to say TM Adedakbo. Dapo is my office here as well, so he will be joining. He doesn't have any choice to be joining. So, Dapo, can we see your face, please? If you show us your face, we don't mind.
Hi, everyone.
TM, we can't still see your face. We can only hi everyone. Okay, so the meeting ends any moment from now. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.